Sometime later, he fell in love with a woman in the valley of Sorek whose name was Delilah. The rulers of the Philistines went to her and said, "See if you can lure him into showing you the secret of his great strength and how we can overpower him so we may tie him up and subdue him. Each one of us will give you 1,100 shekels of silver." So Delilah said to Samson, "Tell me the secret of your great strength and how you can be tied up and subdued," which, by the way, whenever someone asks you that question, don't give them the answer. Because usually when someone says, "How can I kidnap you?" they are going to kidnap you. Usually when someone says, "Tell me how I can really make you mad," they are going to make you mad. Usually when someone says, "Give me the secret of your biggest problem," they're usually going to leverage that against you. And of course, she is going to do that. But I don't want to blame Delilah because she's being bribed with a whole lot of money. What I do want to blame is Samson for being so incredibly obtuse. Now, he thinks he's playing a game. Verse 7, Samson answered her, "If anyone ties me with 7 fresh bowstrings that have not been dried, I'll become as weak as any other man." Then the rulers of the Philistines brought her 7 fresh bowstrings that had not been dried, and she tied him with them. With men hidden in the room, she called to him, "Samson, the Philistines are upon you." But he snapped the bowstrings as easily as a piece of string snaps when it comes to a flame. So the secret of his strength was not discovered. Then Delilah said to Samson, "You've made a fool of me. You lied to me. Come now, tell me how you can be tied." He said, "If anyone ties me securely with new ropes that have never been used, I'll become as weak as any other man." So Delilah took new ropes and tied him with them. Then with men hidden in the room, she called to him, "Samson, the Philistines are upon you." But he snapped the ropes of his arms off his arms as if they were threads. Delilah then said to Samson, "All this time you've been making a fool of me and lying to me. Tell me how you can be tied." He replied, "If you weave the 7 braids of my head into the fabric." Ooh, we're getting a little close. "If you mess with my hair in a specific way, weave it into the fabric on the loom and tighten it with the pin, I'll become as weak as any other man." So while he was sleeping, Delilah took the 7 braids of his head, wove them into fabric, and tightened it with the pin. Again she called to him, "Samson, the Philistines are upon you." He awoke from his sleep and pulled up the pin and the loom with the fabric. At this point in time, do you think whatever he tells her she is going to do? Duh. Do you think he knows that whatever he tells her she is going to do? You would have to be the world's dumbest person to not have picked up on this pattern so far. I do not think Samson is the world's dumbest person, but either he's dumb or he's evil. Let me show you. Then she said to him, "How can you say I love you when you won't confide in me? This is the 3rd time you've made a fool of me and haven't told me the secret of your great strength." With such nagging, she prodded him day after day until he was sick to death of it. So he told her everything. "No razor has ever been used on my head," he said, "because I've been a Nazirite dedicated to God from my mother's womb. If my head were shaved, my strength would leave me and I would become as weak as any other man." What does he think she's going to do? If he's dumb, he thinks, well, she's not going to cut my hair. If he's evil, he thinks she is going to cut my hair and it won't make a difference. Because at this point in his life, it's not his hair. It's never been his hair. It's never been his hair that gave him his strength. The hair was just a symbol of what it was supposed to be happening in his heart. It was the Spirit that gave him strength. The hair was nothing. And at this point in time, he's begun to realize that the hair is nothing. But instead of realizing that it was the Holy Spirit who was everything, he thought it was Samson who was everything. And so what if she cuts off my hair? I still got my biceps.